That's what it is. And anything else you want to say to the fans?
I just want everybody to tune in Saturday night and put on a great show and a great performance, regardless of who I fight. And shout out to Dante's Boxing Nation, man. They're my people, man. They're good people.
Joey Alves was the #1 amateur welterweight in the United States 3 years in a row. He's had over 45 international bouts around the world. He was an Olympic hopeful for 2016. Came up a little short of the Olympic trials, but we're moving on to the professional rankings. And, we're happy to be here.
Already turned pro?
Very soon.
Okay. So, but you're done with the amateurs, just ready to turn pro now, or?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And where are you based out of, man?
I'm out of Odessa, Texas.
Oh yeah. Did you come out here just to spar, or you already been out here?
No, this is my first time down here. I'm enjoying it though. I'm loving Las Vegas.
Nice.
Different atmosphere down here, but yeah, I'm coming down here just to spar.
Let me just ask you real quick, man. All right, so we over here with Joey Alves. Father, you was just telling me about Errol Spence. Tell me about the experience of you putting your son in the ring with Errol Spence. What type of fighter is he when he's sparring and everything?
Errol Spence, man, he's a good fighter. He's strong, man. You know, and he's hungry. There's a lot I can say about Errol. You know, he's real smart. You know, I know he's got a fight coming up with Algeria, but I don't think Algeria is going to give him any kind of trouble, man. He's too smart. He's got a lot of amateur experience. A lot of people say that he doesn't, but he did real good as an amateur. You know, I followed Errol Spence in his amateurs, you know.
Went to the Olympics?
Yeah, he was from Texas, so I got to see him amateur fight a lot. And, you know, he was real strong, you know, and real smart, you know. And I think Joey, you know, is a real good boxer, you know, but whenever we go spar Errol Spence, we got to be on our A game.
Yeah.
Errol Spence, because Errol Spence ain't no joke.
Yeah.
I think he'll be the next world champion, man. Really
Yeah.
do.
I talked to a lot of, you know, trainers from Freddie Roach to Floyd Sr., Jeff Mayweather. They're actually all picking him to beat guys that have more experience than him, like Keith Thurman, Kell Brook. They're already saying he's better than them.
Yeah.
Why is that, man?
He's just his boxing skills, man. You know, he's just real smart in the ring. You know, everybody says that he's slow, you know, because you know, that he's slow. He doesn't have a lot of experience. But what Errol does, you know, he's just naturally strong, and he knows how to work that ring, man. You know, he's just real smart. I mean, he adapts to everybody's style. You know, if you're awkward, he'll find it out, man. He'll pinpoint everything you know when you're weak. You know, and I think, you know, because my son Joey's got some good boxing skills. You know, that's how he won, you know, a lot of nationals. He got a good jab on him. He boxes very well from the outside. But, you know, Errol Spence has got a good game on the outside, and he can bang on the inside, you know. So, you know, he's going to give people a lot of trouble.
That's a double threat right there, right? Yeah. And I can imagine you guys have learned, you know, gained so much experience sparring with him, right? Yeah.
You know, my son was real happy because whenever we got to spar him quite a few times, you know, Errol Spence pays him, you know. And he came home one day, Dad, I don't want to cash this check. I said, well, why not? And I said, man, because Errol paid me. I said, I don't want to cash it. You know, I got his signature and everything. I said, man, you better cash that check, man.
Better get that money, huh?
You better get that money. But yeah, he's a good dude, man. He's a real nice, down-to-earth fellow, man. He's really quiet, really keeps to himself. And one thing that people don't know about Errol Spence, you know, that I've heard from other people that know him, you know what I mean? You know, he's always in the gym. You know, I've heard that from a lot of people. I know a lot of coaches in Texas. Me being from Texas, you know, he's always in the gym. He's always working out, you know, training because, you know, he wants a world title and he's going to get it. I think he's going to get it.
This is Bobby, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.